So we're going to be talking about a lot of things today, really anything you want to talk about. And the stance that we are wanting to help you to discover and practice, the concept that we want you to acknowledge and understand until it is your knowing, is that you have a point of attraction that you have control over. And that you control your point of attraction by caring about how you feel and by focusing yourself into alignment with what feels best. Sometimes you want to take action that seems to line things up in a faster way. And of course, action is often inspired. But we want to help you to understand that if you will focus upon your basis of attraction by paying attention to the way you are feeling, that you will understand this concept of deliberate creation. And you will then be that deliberate creative genius who you intended to be as you came forth into this physical body and this magnificently balanced time-space reality. You said, I'll go forth and I'll sift and sort and I'll come to my own conclusions. And when I come to a decision about what I think would be better, I will give that my undivided attention. I will no longer justify why I want that by pointing out how bad that is. And as I practice the thought of what I want, it will become such a vibrational habit for me. That's all a belief is. A belief is just a vibrational habit. It's a thought you keep thinking. It will become such a vibrational habit for me that as I emanate that vibrational signal, law of attraction will bring things to me that match that. And of course, that makes sense, doesn't it? You sort of get it. You've been mixing it up. You get that what you think about comes to you. It shows up fast enough that it's not a big mystery anymore. You don't call yourself lucky or cursed anymore. You say, When something wonderful would happen to Esther, she would say, I did that. And when something not so wonderful would happen, she would say, I did that too. Don't tell anyone. But once you get the hang of this, once you begin to make the association between what you're thinking and how you're feeling and what's coming back to you, then you begin to get your sea legs. Then you begin to be a deliberate creator, a conscious, deliberate creator. We want you to know that in every moment of every day, you have the potential of allowing a larger part of you forward. And it happens to people when they get themselves often into a very precarious position where something really matters. Sometimes they feel a power beyond measure, as you say, a clarity beyond measure. Someone earlier today was talking about it coming in spurts. It didn't feel sustainable, but it is more sustainable than you know. The combination of powerful wanting and allowing of that power to flow through you is really what all of you intended as you came into this physical experience. Not one of you said, I'll go forth, mix it up, figure out what I want and deprive myself of it by my attitudes and opinions about things. Not one of you said that. Every one of you said, I'll go forth, I'll figure out what I want. It will be held into a sort of vibrational escrow for me until I'm able to figure out how to come into vibrational alignment with it. And when I do, a manifestation will occur. And then I will have a new vibrational stance from which I will compare again and ask again and line up again and receive again. In other words, you know that it's this ongoing cycle. So when you ask a question about your inner being, about that larger part of you, we want to bring into the discussion the word blended or blending. We want you to feel the blending of you and you. And we want the understanding of blending to be so significant that it's not even the blending between you and you, it's just you. We just want you to be present. But who are you? Who are you is the combination of all of this. Who you are is someone who explores and comes to personal decisions and then who allows the personal understanding and knowledge and beingness of that broader, wiser, older self to flow with you in this moment. And if you can just blend those unique perspectives and recognize that you're in alignment or you're not, and when you feel good you are, and when you feel bad you're not, and just leave it at that. If you could just let your dominant intent be to be standing in a place where you are aligned with the central grid of who you are, then everything else will take care of itself. So here's how it all worked out. You come, you bang around, you interact with others, you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, you develop all kinds of opinions and behavioral patterns, and through much of that you're creating life by default because you really don't know for sure consciously what you're doing, except every step along the way you did have emotion that was letting you know how you felt. For the most part, you didn't really know what that meant. And that is really interesting to us, that the scope of humanity can be moving around, feeling things that feel good and feeling things that feel bad, and not have any real understanding that the better it feels, the better it is. How you got crossways of that one took some convincing by those who wanted your attention upon them, who wanted their life to be better, who believed that in order for their life to be better, you needed to conform to their desires. In other words, I would feel better if you would behave in a way that would make me feel better. And if I can control you, I will, because my feeling good really matters to me. And if I can't control you, then I'll just get more forces around me to try to control you, because feeling good is what I really want. So the best that you can do is an easy, casual, comfortable willingness to explore variety, knowing that you have guidance that lets you know what your best choices are. So explore and align and explore and align and explore and align. With this easy door to the vortex, understanding that it's all right, that everything's fine, that you are a worthy being and that good things are supposed to come to you and to others. In other words, the less guarded your stance is, the more you're going to enjoy your journey. And the less guarded your stance is, the more your journey will be the way you want it to be. And then the more subtle the variances will be. In other words, a perfect life, the one that you're looking for, we can feel it from your frequency. The perfect life that you're looking for is one with subtle variances in vibration and acute, astute awareness of where you stand in relationship to it, so that you're not going from joy to depression or from ecstasy to agony. You're going from less clarity to more clarity, to not as much fun to more fun, to I like you pretty good to I adore you and want to lick your face. In other words, you're in these higher registries of, in other words, this contrast that we're talking about, we are not for a moment saying to you that you need to explore the breadth of all contrast in order to move forward. You can be in this physical body and exploring the contrast that only moves on the emotional scale from that feeling of contentment and absolute comfort into ecstasy. And you would not want to be in bouncing off the wall enthusiasm every moment of your day. It would make you exhausted. You like the variety in all of this, but you just don't need to dip into hatred and revenge and anger and depression and fear, you see. You don't have to dip into that.
Got it.
Now that you know what you know.